run around. I've been flapping my arms, I've been squawking, I've been screaming. I got my shotgun out, I was blasting it in the air. They keep coming back, just keep coming back. Well, you have a go then. If you can do any better, what's that? Get a scarecrow. A scarecrow. Don't you think that's a bit old-fashioned? That's a bit... Scarecrows, the crows are used to them, aren't they? They don't fall for that old shtick anymore. Besides, we haven't got one. What? We have got one. A scarecrow. What? Round here? Let me just get my binoculars out and see if I can see one in the vast fields of Kilt realm. Can't see one, mate. Where? It's a pantomime now, apparently, because it's behind me. You just put that there, haven't you? You've just put that there now. Well, folks, looky here. Maybe the answer to my crow problem is at hand. Because here we have a super cheap, super cheerful, evil scarecrow mask. For that is what it's called. Evil Scarecrow. Now, before we go any further with this, folks, this is a cheap mask. Readily available and actually really, really good. Brand name? No idea. There isn't one. The little label that came with it, the little tag which was on top of its noggin there, just said masker, foreign, with a little accent. M-A-S-Q-U-E, a little accent over the E. Adulte, a little accent over the E at the end of adulte as well. So, hey, and then made in Mexico. As a huge, conglomeration of masks are, Mexico does appear to be the mask centre of the world. Now, a lot of the factories for the actual mass producing of these things, they're sculpted elsewhere, then they're sent off, and the actual moulds and they pull them off the line and paint them in Mexico, down Mexico way. But this one, I can't tell you too much details about it because I don't know who made it, and it's just called Evil Scarecrow. But the eagle-eyed amongst you will have already picked up on a couple of things here. Notably, that button for the eye there, the twisted look of the Hessian bear lap, and the overall pinched evil qualities of the face will remind you, I'm sure, of Button Face from Nightbreed, played by David Cronenberg. The great, horror auteur David Cronenberg, who then got a part in Clive Barker's adaptation of his own novella, Cabal, called Nightbreed, where he plays a psychologist who's also a serial killer, and he adopts this persona. Now the mask for him is different. The two eyes are covered by buttons like that, X marked buttons to the eyes. This gash here is actually a zip, but the whole pinched quality swiveling around here and the tightened quality is exactly the same. So they've definitely got the idea for this mask from David Cronenberg in Nightbreed. But it's still a good mask in its own right. In fact, it's a very good mask. Now, it's one of these where it's not a full overhead deluxe. I mean, it goes over your head, but it will not come down the back of your neck. So we're talking a 3/4 mask here. But that doesn't really matter because if you're going to use this, you would, as a costume, presumably you'd have some sort of old jacket on with a straw around the neck. You'd have a big floppy hat on. Sorry? I haven't got a big floppy hat. I've got nothing that's big and floppy. Just big. Oh, you have? Well, you really want to roll in these videos, don't you? Because he's come prepared. He's brought a floppy hat with him. How did you know I was going to do this video? A floppy hat. You couldn't get floppier than that, could you? Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look, see. Give you an idea of what this might look like as a fully fledged scare. Well, it's a little bit too floppy, I would say, my friend. But, you get the general idea. With, an old jacket on, bit of straw floating about, and yeah, you're going to look pretty sinister. as a really wicked, evil Scarecrow. Look, it does not look good, doesn't it? You know. I will take you on a tour around this mask now. But yeah, with the hat on, you're getting the effect, aren't you? So, with this thing here, we have two gaping eye holes, so your eyes are totally on show there. But you have this button here, which is hanging down. Gives it a kind of like, this is the sort of thing, you know, I think I've said before about copyright. You can be almost identical to the thing you're copying. Legally, you've only got to be deviate by something like, I think it's about 5%, maybe 6%, maybe not even that much, and then you get away with it, which is weird, I know. Because I remember Lucasfilm did not like me and my mate Lee Van Keith doing our Star Wars figure stands because we use Star Wars figures in the advertising. Anyway, but as you can see there, one lovely realistic looking button as well. I love these raggedy holes. I mean, as you can see, hope you can, the contours, the texture, the detail on the latex burlap is really good. You do have the sort of material fabric weave. I don't know if you're picking that up there, but it looks really, really good. Now, we've got the little top knot, almost like a Scarecrow samurai top knot going on here, with a little, you know, bit of rope around it. Very good. And the pinched effect, when it's been tightened and cinched, is really good. You know, this is a cheap mask, but it's such a good quality and such a good style that I just had to have it. So you can see all these striations here, all these, you know, where it's been pulled and it's made taut and it's become creased. They look very realistic. The little tiny nose bulge there, very realistic. All these slits, you've got, of course, a lot of shading in there as well. So the paint job is actually pretty good as well. In fact, I'm very impressed all round with this. I do wish it came down a bit more at the back, but as I say, with your costume, if you're going to do a costume, you're going to cover that up anyway. And whether you've got a particular mane of hair, you could make that could just be like old straw hanging down the back. And if you're going to use it as a Scarecrow, you've paid your money, you can do what you want with it. And you mounted it on some kind of, you know, fold, some kind of like pole and that, like, with a big floppy hat on, and its costume, it's going to look just as good. It's going to hang well on a piece of wood, isn't it? So as I say, the zip that was in the David Cronenberg Nightbreed mask has been replaced by this gaping gash here, very Leatherface style stitched together. Now, if you look at those stitches there, they're really, really good. It's deceptive because you think that they're actually going in. If you look there, I hope you can see this, it does look like the stitching is going into the material. So you kind of like, oh, have a look inside, because they must be there, but they're not. It is, I don't know if you can see that, they are just sculpted. It is just sculpted, but that is a good sculpt. That's really good. That's detailed, it's got depth, it's got definition, it's got realism to it. The 3D quality to it and the realism of the paintwork is really good. For such a cheap mask, which probably people, if they're looking for masks, they're going to overlook this. Or maybe not, because it caught my eye. I was just perusing, you know, the mask channels, and all of a sudden, whoa, this popped up, and I thought, huh? Isn't that Nightbreed? Is that Nightbreed that's been through like a car crash? Crash? David Cronenberg, crash. You see? See, everything is cosmically linked. But I'm loving this. So you've got these weird sort of gashes which have been bloodied. And the blood's kind of, it's faded, so it's not like that vivid. But it kind of looks a bit sore as well at the same time. Can you see? It looks a bit like, ooh, if you touch that, ooh, and that's just a Hessian sack. The wound should be beneath. But of course, what lies beneath this, that's entirely up to you. That could be your creation as to what this character is. Because he's not based on anything that I know of. He's certainly ripping something off, I think. But there's no backstory, there's no film in question. And it's just a very generic title, Evil Scarecrow. I'm not even entirely sure if that is what he's supposed to be called. Because there's just there's nothing on the labelling I would show you, but there's no point. It doesn't give anything away at all. There is nothing. I always do this. There is nothing actually sculpted in to the mask itself, giving any details away. And then I suddenly see a big name here. No, no, there isn't. There's nothing. I have looked, so I can't even see like the brand. But it is a tremendously good mask. And as I say, I genuinely love this. I'm going to show you again just how detailed and that quality where they appear to go in to the Hessian is very, very good. Look at it. It's very eye-catching sort of mask. By the way, I'm playing Terry Plumieri's score for Scarecrow. So I've played it a few times. It's a harsh, dissonant, frightening score full of deep bassoons and oboes and lots of scratchy percussion and weird woodwinds to evoke the movements of these. Well, in the film, there's a gazillion of these things, and they're more like zombies, but they do look like this, and they are rather nasty. And it's not a great film, but it's a great score. Sadly, Terry Plumieri is no longer with us, but under tragic circumstances too. But his music lives on. But yeah, I'm impressed. Okay. Right, don't pester me. These little imps, you know. Sorry, I've got hair in my mouth. You know when you grow your hair? I had very long hair when I was in my teens. But mine was like a new romantic style. There was nothing on the sides. It was shaved down to the wood on the sides, but it was ultra long on top and ultra long down the back, right the way down the back. And yes, there is a word for it. Shit is the word for it. Mullet is the word for it. And it was spiked to hell, and I adored it. I loved it. Nowadays, my hair does not do what it once did. Now I have to work at it and mess around with it. And plus, it doesn't seem to want to grow. It's reached this level, and it just will not go any further than that. I mean, there's some length down the back there, but you know, it's not the big flowing Tarzan locks that I wanted. Although I've gone beyond the Snake Plissken threshold, and that was always the thing. Plisken's hair was the thing I wanted, and I've gone beyond that now, so I'm happy with that. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, but they never tell you. Women, you never see women go with their hair, pulling their hair out their lips and off their tongue, do you? Or do you? If you looked at no. Don't get me started on that. This is early Sunday morning, and that kind of talk has no place here. Just yet. Give me 5 minutes. But you never see them go gagging on their own hair, do you? There's another joke there, isn't there? But it happens to me all the time. It just goes and unerringly it finds its way onto my lip and then my tongue, and then I'm afraid, folks, my gag reflex just goes kicks in. Because it's immediate and it's violent. So, you know, often I tie this mangy menagerie back, but it still creeps through. Anyway, enough of the follicle folklore. There is actually something on the inside here. There is a number 9. You see that? Or is it number 6? That's definitely a number 9, that. That's definitely number 9. I know there's people out there that do love to see if anyone's like signed off on the inside, anyone's initials, a number where it's been pulled off. That's another bad phrase as well, where the mask has been pulled off the line. And but that's all it is, number 9. So in a way, I kind of like the fact that this is a mystery mask. I don't know its origins. I don't know who devised it, who sculpted it, who painted it. Don't even know what the brand of it is. But I like that. It's just come out of nowhere and arrived. So okay, let's see what the fit is like. I haven't put this on yet, so. And I have discussed at length the way that most masks are huge. I mean, look at me, look, big pudgy face. I know, that's how it looks. But in actual fact, I've got a very small head. I keep saying this, I keep feeling the need to explain this. But most masks all my trick or treat ones or the ghoulish one. You know, most masks are huge on my head, so I have to like put sponges, if I'm going to wear it, put sponges in there to try and, you know, keep it anchored on and, you know, stationary, not swivel round. But lately I've found a few masks which have actually fitted really well. Like you saw the video the other day of the young Jason Voorhees mask, which looks huge, looks like a big alien head, doesn't it? Like big bulbous noggin. But when you put it on, it just goes whoop, and it seems to fix to your face. And it's like, which is worrying in some ways, but it actually fit really well. I would have no worries wearing that one at all. Getting it off is a different story. But anyway, let's go into this. So, as you can see, you know, your eyes and your skin around the eyes are very, very apparent. Your eye peeping over the button here is very apparent. But if anything, that adds to a level of malevolence and evil intent. It looks even more ghastly. If there were genuine eyes sculpted into this, it might detract. But look at it. If I only had a heart. Yeah. As I say, only comes to about there. Oh, folks, I am genuinely impressed with this. Look at it. I love the gash across one eye there. You know, I'm always getting shouted at by Mrs. Kilt-Man for buying clothing or equipment for cosplay purposes, which I'll then distress and weather. I'll rip them up, I'll put bullet holes in it and put fake blood on it, theatrical blood. You know, I'll scuff brand new leather jackets and even cut the arms off for Mad Max appeal. I'll do all sorts of stuff and you can't fathom it. But not imagine this, you know, without all the rips and the tears and the blood and the decrepitude. It'd be boring, wouldn't it? It'd be boring. Things have to look like they've been lived in, they've gone through hell. You know, they've been shot, burned, scuffed, dragged in the dirt behind a pickup truck, you know, set on fire. These things have to look like that. Otherwise they'd be just completely Billy Bland and useless. So in a way it's great to get something like this where you don't have to do any messing around with it. It is as it is, you know. I'm very impressed with that. Of course, there's another sort of look this might be slightly reminiscent of, and that is Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow in, you know, the Dark Knight movies. Although his actually a sack. I can't quite remember. I know you can get the masks for it, or replica masks for it as well. But they are kind of lopsided and pinched, aren't they? Which does seem to be the thing here. And that definitely is, you know, that is definitely based on Nightbreed. I have no doubts about that at all. But they've given it this Scarecrow look, which I think is really impressive. And I'm just loving it. You know, I'm really, really impressed with this. I'll look at the back there. I just want to show you. Almost like a bit of a pumpkin effect going on there with all these contours and levels, layers, strips, you could call it. But that's quite good. And that does give it a bit of a jaunty little knot, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's interesting as well that all the gashes have blood on them except for this one here. But then again, is that genuinely a gash? It could be it's just tightened up, you know. And if you look around the eye holes, they're ripped up, they're striated, they are jagged. There's no symmetry to it whatsoever. This is a really good mask, folks. I am really going to plug this. Yeah, I got it from Amazon. Did you need to ask Amazon. I found this, and it was called Evil Scarecrow. So, you mask fiends out there, should you be feeling the urge to run around fields and scaring the avian population from your crops, this should do the job. Definitely. I'm loving it. I can't, I'm looking at the screen and I'm going, wow, that looks even better each time I see it. And the evil quality is enhanced by that pinched quality. It's just like, it's cinched in real tight. So it's like, you can imagine whatever's in there's going, and it's not happy. Brilliant mask. Brilliant. No name. It's the mask with no name. Just Evil Scarecrow, which is so generic, it's unreal. But then again, that's exactly what this sucker is. It's a scarecrow. And with that look, that attitude, yep. He ain't friendly, is he? No, he's downright evil. So folks, there you go. There's another mask review for you. Hey? Keeping you in business and all. So, in the meantime and in between time, you guys take it easy. Be happy, be healthy. Watch out for crows and other winged, monstrosities which could be laying waste to your place. Birds around here fucking destroying our conservatory roof, which is already in a humongous state of disrepair anyway. And just around the corner here, we have Mrs. Kilt-Man is playing Nature Watch at the moment. She's found frogs and all sorts. We've got all sorts here. It is wild. And she found a baby blue tit with its mummy coming down to feed it all the time, and she's been taking pictures and putting them on Facebook, and she's loving it. She's named the little thing as well, and she really is doting upon this little baby, because we've got a big husky dog here as well, who runs around, rampage outside. Not that she'd go and deliberately want to kill, a little baby bird. She wouldn't want to do that, but she might step on it. And it was bobbing about on the floor, just yesterday, and his mother was swooping down. We thought, has it fallen out the nest? What's happened here? And normally, if you interfere in this sort of maternal, attitude, the mother could just fly off and leave it. But it hasn't. It's remained, and it seems to allow us to come near and have a look. Mrs. Kilt-Man's been very, very loving towards this little blue tit. And she's neglected the great big tit that she lives with, that she married. Anyway, guys, take it easy. I'm going to see you all later with a review of Michael Mann's cult classic but damaged movie, The Keep. Yeah, you heard it here first.